Hello planner friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Suhey with Suhey Plans, and I'm really excited to share with you kind of like my complete planner system, my complete system of journals, notebooks, etc. Everything that I'm reaching for in 2024. If you like this video, if it was helpful at all, I would greatly appreciate a like or a subscribe. But let's jump in because this is going to be a little on the chattier side and I have a lot of stuff to cover. So I am starting with planners, just planners. This stack right here is my planners, essential planners for 2024. And I'm going to start from smallest to largest. Okay, so let's put this aside. And I'm not going to do in-depth flip throughs, but I would love if you guys could comment below on which of these you'd like to see in more detail. I think that would be extremely helpful in me figuring out what to share on my channel. So we're going to start with the Plotter Bible size binder that I am using to track my goals and intentions and habits and my daily trackers and all of that, but an on-the-go version. I'm doing this in a Hobonichi A5, but I wanted this version to have on the go. I'm using plotter inserts. I use the month on 2-page, and then I also use the week on 2-page view, and then I have some sterling ink grid paper here for note-taking. So essentially what I do is I'm repeating the exact same things that I do in my own in terms of goals and intentions, but I'm doing it on the go. So I can always have it on hand. On this side, I'm writing all of my my daily intentions for each week, my weekly intentions on this, like right here on this column. And then I made like some grid, like a grid column here to track daily intentions. And so this is really handy for me when I'm on the go and I'm at work. You know, I'm up super early. You spend forever, the whole day at work, and I just like to be able to just reach in my bag and quickly check what I wanted to set out to do for that day. What were my intentions for that day? What are the things that I'm tracking for today? And I always have that on the go. And this has just been the perfect size for that. And again, I do find it really handy. Oh, sorry if I move the camera. Just because this year I really want to focus on my goals. I want to take my goals seriously this year. Next up, we have my social media planner. This was originally in a B6 common planner, but I had the the compact size, and that size wasn't giving me as much joy. The cover color was black, and I don't know, it just wasn't giving me joy. And I just love the Paper Test Designs B6 full year edition in the sage and how beautiful it goes with my apricot cover. So this is like super, super joyful. So I'm doing social media in here instead. Yeah. So that's been great. I've really been enjoying how beautiful this is, and having something that's just this awesome every day to look at is really nice. Next up, we've got, this is my work planner. So I'm actually, my work planner is in actuality a half-letter discount system, but I use this as the on-the-go version. I think this is my first year where I'm really duplicating planners and having on-the-go versions, and I'm going to see like if I can keep up with that. But so far, I have found a lot of benefit to having a version of my planner that's more portable. My goals and intentions, my work planner are slightly big, so I really am appreciating the more compact on the go. This is a traveler's notebook cover in black, and I have sterling ink booklet inserts, the monthly, weekly, and then a Good Ink Impressions grid notebook for notes. This has been really, really awesome. I could be such a bag lady sometimes in the mornings for work, and I just love that I can have this in place of the half letter disc bound. Yes, there is a lot of duplicating of information, but if I stay on top of it, I find it not to be as burdensome. And again, this is so much lighter and more portable than my half letter discs. So really enjoying this on the go for work. So here is my everyday carry, still going strong. It's in the Prada Traveler's Notebook cover, which I absolutely love. The leather is beautiful. I always want to touch it. And it continues to work really well for me. I was using a similar system from last July, and so it's been going exactly as planned, and I'm loving all of it. Working really well for me, doing my dailies. You know, it's just been great. Staying strong, feeling super good about this as being my everyday carry. I think once in a while I get the thought of moving into weeks, because there are some days where I have a lot of white space, and I don't usually mind the white space, but I've also never used a week size planner. I know, that's crazy. So I do wonder about like how that might work, if that might work better for my daily planning. So that's something I'm thinking about experimenting with later on in the year. But this is working great. It's absolute love. All right, and then I've got two more planners in the traditional sense of a planner. This is my Hobonichi Hone in A5 size, and this is what I'm using for goals and intentions. I'm tracking things like my no spend, no takeout, how often I'm journaling. I'm keeping track of things related to my goals for the year with my family, with my personal health, etc. I'm using the weekly layout to write intentions for every day, and then I'm using the daily pages as a journal. I've mentioned this before in another video, but I'm really enjoying, or I'm feeling really good about having my journal in the same place that I am tracking my goals and intentions. I just think that it helps me stay accountable to the journaling process, and it helps me stay accountable to my intentions and goal setting and tracking process. So I'm loving this whole combination. I love the paper. I love writing on it. This is wonderful. I'm also curious about what it might be like to everyday carry in this planner in this size. All right, I'm running out of room here. Let's see, put this away. All right. Last but not least, in terms of like planners in the traditional sense, and I hope that's in frame. Let me take a look. There we go. Is my 2024 Power Sheets Goal Planner. And this is kind of where, this is like the headquarters, I guess you can say, related to my goals, where I've planned them out, where I've mapped out what I want to do in each quarter, where I've written out details and action plans, where I've really reflected on each of my goals. And so this is the headquarters, and I only refer to this every couple of weeks. And then I take the information that's in here and I transfer it into the Hone. And then I also then transfer what's in the Hone into the plotter. This, I know that sounds excessive. I am completely aware of how excessive this much like duplication sounds. But I think that, you know, if you want to be really serious about your goals, it requires just extra intention. And I'm seeing really good results because it's just constantly there. And, you know, again, this is for me. I don't advertise that this necessarily be something that's right for you, but this is working for me. And I'm really loving this system for my goals and intentions. So you can really say that I have 3 planners just for goals and intentions. Wow. Wow. But how important are our goals, right? And goal setting and achieving my goals is very important to me. So that is me, right? Okay, so I think that goes over all like the planners in the traditional sense. I'm gonna put these down. I have a really small desk, so I literally can't fit everything on the desk at once. Let me take a quick sip of Joe. All right, next let's do journals. And the Hobonichi A5 Hone is kind of like a journal as well. But they're, you know, but it's also serving as a planner. So, but it's kind of a little bit of both, and I recognize that. Okay, journals. Okay. Okay. So these are my 4 journal-like journals. These are my 4 journals for 2024 plus. So let's start with the mo terms. So these, and I have a video on both of these lovelies. These are B6 mo terms that are holding sterling ink 5-year diaries that I'm using. Let's center that. That I'm using for memory keeping. I'm sorry, that I'm using as a 5-year diary for my children. This has been so wonderful, and it is a lot to write every day, but this size is so accessible that it's really working well, and I'm not worried about being able to be consistent. And this one's for my son, and then this one is for my daughter. So next up, and this is a really recent addition. This is the Hobonichi A6 little gifts cover that's holding an A6 notebook and a Hobonichi A6 notebook and a Midori A6 notebook, both grid. And essentially I am using this for media journaling. This year, my word of the year is nourish, and that's in you know, mental nourishment, physical, emotional, and just all the ways to replenish myself and my soul. And I enjoy podcasts, movies, books. Who doesn't, right? But I often find that when things get busy, that they're the first things to go. And I no longer want to sacrifice those things that bring me joy, right? And I think the media journal is a perfect way to kind of say, no, wait, hold on. I'm creating accountability for myself. Like, I have this new journal. I really want to write in my new journal. I guess I have to keep up with the podcast. I guess I have to try to squeeze in a Netflix show every now and again, right? And it just helps me like continue to do the things that I enjoy, because they're so easy to just let fall at the wayside when things get busy. And I can also do like a in-depth, not that I have that much to show you, but I can definitely talk a little bit more about this if you guys would be interested. But this is definitely just purely joy and entertainment and fun. And that's why I have a cover that's kind of fun and joyous and not too serious, because I think it also matches with the ethos of what I'm trying to do with this journal. So that's that. And this one I don't often show this one on social media or here on YouTube, but this is my memory keeper. I have 3 sets of inserts here. I have one for travel, one for like everyday magic, and then one for food. These are really plain and bland, and that's fine. I'm not like a super decorative kind of gal. But I'm just writing, here's where I'm doing memory keeping of our trips as a family, or even solo trips that I might take. Printing out photos. This was my New York City trip. Anything like big, like trips and things that go down on trips are going in here. I started this last year in 2023, but I'm sure I'll have still plenty of room in 2024. Then this second insert is like regular everyday kind of memories. You know, there's a football game. I got my teeth done, so I was really excited about that, and I'm just feeling very confident. So I journaled about that. I had a new niece that came into the world, and just writing about all of these like everyday kind of magic moments. This is the holiday season this year. And this has been really nice. And then the last one is just a food journal, because I do love food. I love eating. I love eating out. I like to cook. I made that cheesecake. Can you believe it? But it was so good. And I'm like, this needs to go in my journal. So this is just like memories for me. I don't show it that often, and I'm not in it all the time. It's really for things that I find that are very, very special that go in here. And those are the journals in the most traditional sense. Last but not least, I'm gonna do notebooks and miscellaneous. Okay, so we've got these guys. This one. They keep coming out the woodworks, y'all. And these two. All right. This is a lot, I know, but bear with me, okay? And I am in no way encouraging you to feel like you need, excuse me, all of this in your system. Okay, so let's start with this one. This is a Moleskine 2024 daily planner, and I'm using this for on the go and to take notes and jot quick things down each day, so that I have a little bit, so that I have a like my memories in place for when it's time to journal at the end of the day. I find that I am forgetful, but having this has really helped me. You know, didn't add anything here, and that's okay. I'm forgetful, and so adding things here has really helped when it comes down to plan for the evening or plan for the next day or even journal. So this has been really handy, and it's super portable. So it's with me at the grocery store, on errands, etc. Next up we have, this is an Eternal Leather Goods B6 Stalogy cover that's holding a Wonderland 222 grid notebook. I am using this grid notebook to save on, hold on, let me see if I can grab that. I got the Sterling Ink Common Planner in the compact size, so it has a limited number of pages. And I would like to stay in this book the entire year. So then what I'm doing is, on the weekends and on days off, instead of doing daily planning in here, I'm daily planning in this notebook. I'm using the timeline with the grid. I do my usual go-to spread with a notes page on the right. And this is what I'm using on the weekends and on days off, so that I can save paper in my Sterling Ink Common Planner, because I really didn't want the big full book. So this has been a great go-to notebook during the weekends, during days off, where I'm doing my daily planning and saving paper in the Common Planner. And that's working really well for me. All right, next up, we've got this guy. So this is a Midori B6 Slim notebook in 2024 that has calendar views and then lined pages cut into, split up into 4 quadrants. This was a really just interesting find that I picked up when I was in New York for the holidays, and I was just like, whoa, I want to give this a try, and I don't know how. So I thought I would start with just making this a thought a day, and just writing a summary, a short phrase to summarize that thought, and then expanding more on the thought in the lined pages. I haven't kept up with it every day, and that's all right. And you might check in with me a couple months later, and this might have changed in terms of its purpose. But I think it's just an interesting size, beautiful paper. And I don't know, I think I'd like to look back on what was the thought, the idea, the thought that just stood out the most from that entire day. I thought that might be interesting to see. So that is that. And again, whether there's no pressure here, if I write in it, great. If I don't, that's fine too. All right. Next up, we've got an A6 Sterling Ink notebook, full size, in a Moterm A6 cover. And in here, I'm using this for meal planning. Writing down, brainstorming meals, writing down grocery lists, meal planning for the week. I'm using these pockets to store coupons, and it's just super portable. And I have a lot of paper here that'll last me probably beyond the year, honestly. And I just like this for planning out my meals, and then I'll take it with me to the supermarket, throw in a credit card in these pockets. It's like a wallet and grocery shopping list all in one. So that's really all that this serves for right now. That might change, but this is really working, and it's been very, very functional. So this is great. Oh, this is an espresso, by the way, this Moterm cover. The next notebook I also have here is my A5 Stalogy that I have in the Superior Labor A5 cover in black. And this just holds my notebook for any and all things that I don't quite feel work in the other millions of journals that I have. I've started like a 2025 planner chat with myself spread. I'm doing some research on the 5 a.m. club and what that means. And I took some notes from the readings there. I was really interested in some of the things from the Hobonichi spring launch. So this is just kind of where I have random things, or a lot of referencey things, a lot of note taking, or just things that I want to unpack. I was doing some brainstorming on my 5-year diary prompts, and really, here's a spread of just washi tape, right? So I'm just using it in different ways, however I kind of want. We all kind of need a random notebook, and that is this. And I love this beautiful leather cover, and I just love it. So I always want to keep it in my rotation. Last but not least, in the notebooks, and I think we're probably done with this one, but this is a routine workbook that I picked up from Cultivate What Matters. And by the way, I do have some discount codes on some of these things, and they'll be linked below. But I'm working in this workbook to help me iron out my routines, which is one of my goals for 2024. I want to do more routine implementation, especially on the weekends. And I'm just kind of going through this workbook to kind of figure out what those will look like, how to implement them, and how to be more successful. And so I'm still not done with the workbook, but I've made good progress. And really one of my goals for 2024 is to iron out my routines a bit more. So, working in this workbook is one of my action steps towards that goal. So this is something that's always on my desk as well. And so I think, I'm looking around, I think that's everything that I'm currently reaching for. Some planners, some notebooks, some just miscellaneous stuff. And I know that this probably feels really overwhelming. And I am not advocating that this be the right way to approach the way that you organize your life. This is just what works for me. And I don't use a lot of these things every day. This only comes out on the weekends. This comes out every couple of months when something really notable happens in my life. Most of the days are very regular, and I'm just fine with that. My kids' 5-year diaries. Okay, the stack is getting there now, folks. My media journal. Again, none of this is to say that you should have as many things. I like stationery. I love writing. I like to be organized. I really like to focus on my goals. And so all of this works for me. But maybe one of these things could give you an idea for something you might want to add to your rotation or to your current system. If you're interested, I'm still picking things up from this video, from the ground. Wow. If you're interested in a deeper review of any of these items, please let me know. I just recently did a review of the 5-year diaries, but I'm happy to kind of talk about any of these other things in more depth. Just let me know in the comments. Oof. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Please, I want to just once again say I don't want to, pressure anyone into feeling like they need to buy more. This is just me talking about things that I have, things that work for me, things that I enjoy doing, and hopefully they spark some ideas. But in no way should you feel any kind of expectation to have as much as this. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if there's something you would like me to go into more detail in, and I'll be happy to share. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.